Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? Um, we're going to be talking about one thing in particular before I start playing you some videos that I found, okay? And this is an email that was sent in by a community member, and it's extremely important that you listen to her words because this is something that she experienced in real life. Um, and I think that it's important that you apply this to what we are seeing today, what we will see in the near future, and also apply it to when you are preparing. Okay? So she says this: I'm just as concerned as you are, and the impending doom feelings are very real. He will never be allowed to be president, even in unlikely event he were to win. U.S. News and World Reports has this as a headline: DoD directive expands domestic military authority to include lethal force document. She says, you know my history of coming from Cuba in the 60s in Operation Peter Pan. I think I told you that after Castro took over, my mother amassed food that lasted for years. Yes, I do remember us having that conversation. I remember it very well, actually. She said, after my parents left, they gave all of the food to my grandparents. They ate from that food for years. I don't want to stress you any more than you are, but darling, we need to have food for years. I agree with you. But I also have to take into consideration that a lot of people right now are struggling. They're struggling to put food on the table and keep the lights on. There are a lot of resources out there that I don't think a lot of people know about. There is one organization that I think that a lot of people don't know about, and it's called People Helping People. Okay? And you can Google it. All right, it's a wonderful organization. When I was working with the homeless community not so long ago, I worked under People Helping People, and we would have the soup kitchen every Sunday and stuff like that. And I would go around to specific restaurants, and I would pick up like their like on Saturday nights after they closed, and they would give me like their leftovers and stuff like that. Like we would go to Panera Bread, and they would give us all of their bagels and their pastries and their breads and things like that that were left over. We would walk out of there with huge totes full and whatnot. And there was other restaurants like pizza restaurants and stuff like that. They would give us, like whatever didn't sell that day, like huge, like the baking, the foil baking, what do you want to call them, containers full of like baked ziti and stuff like that. They would give that to us for the soup kitchen and whatnot. So I would definitely look out and try to get a hold of People Helping People. You can access their food pantry. You can access their soup kitchen. They also give out supplies. And if you are homeless, they also, I know here in the Tampa Bay area, they have a facility to where you can shower. They give you toiletries, they give you clothing, and things like that. And they also have resources to give you to help you get on the right path to getting a place of your own and things like that. Okay. So, but there are food pantries, and there are organizations out there that are willing to help that don't have ties to the government and things like that. Okay. These are actual organizations that were built by people like me with their own hands. Okay. Because there was at a point where my entire garage was filled with boxes from literally floor to ceiling, wall to wall, with the stuff that, you know, with for people helping people in my garage that was just loaded with clothes and toiletries and stuff like that. So um, and then, you know, whenever we had to do the what do you call it, like the clothing give outs and stuff like that, when we would go to different shelters, especially during, like, you know, like right before school starts, because believe it or not, our homeless communities, there's more kids in our homeless communities than you'd realize. You know, we would help out with school clothes, and around holidays and stuff like that, you know, we would help out with food and clothing as well. Also, see if the Marine Corps still helps out, because I know that they used to, when I was a Marine mom, yeah, a young Marine mom, when my son, before he went into the Marines, he was in something called the Young Marines. And we would do the same thing, like with Toys for Tots and stuff like that. So see if they still do things like that. So try them as well. But anyway, I'll get back to the email. She said, if the cackling hen gets in, it's communism. Yes, dear, I know. But it's not just going to end with communism. It is going to be total and complete chaos, baby. And when I tell you, there are people that are literally running scared. Okay. She said there's no socialism. There's nothing but all out pinko communism. Remember, her daddy is a card carrying commie. Yes, I know. I know. She's going to be installed and will finish for good what Barry could not finish. I know. And, you know, this is, I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. And I don't like to live in fear. Okay. And I know none of you like it either. But she's 100% right. All right. She said, if you have not been watching Candace Owens' investigation of Carmelia's made-up ancestries, history, and similarities and upbringing of to Barry's, you need to go to Rumble and watch all of the episodes. It will blow your mind. I know. My husband, he digs as much as I do. So I know all about that. Yeah. She said, I've been canning like a crazy woman, especially ready-made meals and such. Same. Yeah. She said, it's something I do this time of year anyway, but I'm adding a few new recipes. Oh, really? Mind sharing? Yeah, please. I'm always looking for really great recipes for canning, especially when it comes to ready-made meals. She said, I harvested my garden and everything is frozen, canned, or dehydrated. Same. But yes, keep adding and try to make sure all of your ingredients are safe, as with the little processing as possible, especially no cereals or processed foods for the children, as all of these foods are full of poisons other countries do not allow. I understand that, but you know, when you have as big a family as we do, remember, we're of 9, okay? The cheaper the better. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, you know, and I try, you have to have your comfort foods to have some sort of normalcy, especially when we are dealing with chaos, especially when we have our kids, our grandkids and stuff like that, because they're not going to understand, oh, we can't go outside today because there's, and I'm going to use this term loosely, zombies running around. Okay. So if they don't have their morning Apple Jacks or their Reese's Puffs or whatever cereal they feel like having today, okay, if that's going to keep them normal, on a normalcy basis, just like how we like to wake up and have our cup of coffee, and if any of you guys have your smokes or whatever in the morning. Okay, if that's what keeps us grounded and of a normal sane mind, think about what rowdy 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds like what we have here. Okay, think about them too, because they're, and it's not because of a sugar high or anything like that. They have their normal routines as well. So yeah, I have Pop-Tarts stocked, and their favorite cereals stocked, and their favorite granola bars stocked, and you know stuff like that. And God help me, I need my Oreos. Okay, but just saying. She said, "Stay safe and well, dear friend. God bless you and yours to continue your work. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to let me know." Well, thank you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. I love you. Okay, now onto the videos.
So I really like to read books because they tell you a different side. They tell you something that, maybe you weren't told about. But it's interesting, when you get into the Federal Reserve, you realize that the Federal Reserve runs the economy. They increase the interest rates and tank the economy whenever they feel like. Then we get into Social Security, income tax, and good old Karl Marx. That's where Social Security came from. But then someone's like, what do you mean all the parties are taking over and complete control of the policy based on the Federal Reserve? Look at that. This is a great one too. The sudden death of 1928 leads to the Great Depression by bankers. President of Banker Trust. People might ask, well, who runs it all? The Rothschilds, the Lazards, the Loebs, Warburgs, Lehmans, Goldman Sachs, Rockefeller family, and check that, J.P. Morgan. All books like this came out and they burned them. Why is your country at war? Woodrow Wilson ordered government agents to seize and to destroy the printing plates and copies of this book in the spring of 1918. Wonder why that is. And you got this fun one. The price of gold is set by the Rothschilds. We go to the Rothschilds and their plan of action. These are 10 steps to destabilize economies and create, interesting, a new world order under one government. Remember in Germany when they arrested the Rothschilds? You get into the Bolshevik Revolution. Remember that whole thing? Orchestrated by bankers, this banker specifically. And then we go to who has stock in the Federal Reserve. Look at the names. You might know a couple of them. There's a couple more, and they're all connected to the Rothschilds and the Bank of England.
Certificate makes you commercial product. Where your parents signed the birth certificate, it doesn't say parent, it says informant. But look on the other side, and you will see the whole birth certificate it's on stationery, which is security paper. It's on bank security paper. It's got the little design all around it. So it's a security on the stock exchange. But on the bottom, on the left-hand side, on the bottom, it's printed. It will tell you that this birth certificate is the property of the Department of Commerce. Your mother gave birth to you. She was in labor. She built you in labor, and then you came out of your mother's water, so you're a maritime admiralty product, just like the TV that came from Japan came in on water. That's why if you're going to be born again, you have to go out and be dumped into the water and be born again, because you came out of your mother's water.
If you want to understand it, to see how they enslaved us, this ebook will literally unveil for you everything you need to know. Age of belief is over. Age of knowing has begun.
We actually found it. I didn't think we found this cave, but here it is. Dungeon. I know, who built it? Yeah. What?
No way.
Alright, so we have a choice to either keep going on this level or to go up and start
to go up?
Whoever made the staircase knew what they were doing. Dude, the elevator. Holy crap. Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What?
Hold on, I'm getting a picture.
Whoa, dude, I can see a platform.
Oh, so we're just being soft now. Oh, okay. Bath and Body Works had to apologize for no fucking reason because people are soft. That's a snowflake. That's not no Klans shit. That doesn't even look like them. If you look deeper into the actual design, it goes further, and I don't see any full men. I don't see them throwing up any signs. This is just... Remember when Starbucks had polar bear cookies and people got pissed off at them because the scarf on them was red and it looked like blood was dripping down, so they assumed they were cutting the heads off of the polar bears? Starbucks actually apologized and removed the cookie for that. This is the newest addition to the soft individuals, because I don't see what you guys see. It's a fucking candle. And it's a candle that has a snowflake, a paper snowflake. First of all, not every snowflake looks the same. And if you cut out paper snowflakes, nobody's going to cut out the same exact one. Everything's always different. This is just another way of people getting butthurt for no fucking reason at all. Because this is bullshit. This, like, if I stare deep into the picture, then I'll see it. But that means I had to go looking for it. People will find racism.
Imagine for a second, a country where we had border security, where we did not spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars dealing with illegal people coming across the border, the wide open border, welcome with open arms and given resources for just being illegal in our country. Imagine if we closed the border and could take those resources and spend them on the victims of human trafficking. Imagine if we could take those resources and spend them on those that are suffering from mental illness and drug addiction in this country. There is enough money being wasted by the federal government and the executive branch to make a huge dent in the mental health issues, to the drug addiction issues, to the human trafficking victims of this country if we just cut the border off and quit causing not only the federal government to spend. We're not even talking about the trickle down of the additional billions and billions that state and locals are spending that amount to billions. Imagine that we could have a country where we spent that money on people that are citizens here that deserve to have the help that they need, that they can't afford, that their families can't afford.